The ministerial committee that investigated the circumstances that led to the recent deaths in the Jura in the Ashanti region has recommended the application of appropriate sanctions against the military personnel on the ground whose gunshots killed 2 people. In a 55-page report published by the government on Monday, September 27th, the committee recommended that the military establishment should, quote, review the actions of the sanction on the ground led by Lieutenant Martin Opoku Eduse for the inappropriate use of force and apply appropriate sanctions. The 3-member ministerial committee investigated the disturbances at Ejura in the Ashanti region. Among other things, the committee made some 10 recommendations, which included the removal of the Ejura Sechidumasi Municipal Chief Executive, who already pulled out of the race for a new MCE, and compensation for the affected families and victims. President Akufo-Addo has begun a process to assess all his ministers almost 10 months into his second term. A series of consultative meetings began on Monday, September 27th, to not only assess the ministers, but also discuss their budgetary requirements and their work programs ahead of the presentation of the 2022 budget. These were made known by the Director of Public Affairs at the Presidency, Eugene Ahin, on Monday when he met the press. He indicated that the meetings will end on Tuesday, September 28th. President Akufo-Addo, according to his spokesperson, began the meeting immediately he touched down from the UN General Assembly, where he attended the 76th session. So far, 14 ministers, including Minister of Trade and Industry, Alan Kojo Chermantain, Minister of Energy, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, Minister of Public Enterprises, Joseph Kojo, and Information Minister, Kojo Apong Nkrumah, have taken turns to meet the President. The Akufo-Addo-led government has acquired some 4-seater fully air-conditioned mini vehicles to be used for the promised Okada for Car initiative. Although the government is set to roll out the first phase of the initiative with some 100 vehicles, checks at the Coastal Development Authority indicate that over 100 Okada riders have registered for these vehicles. The National Identification Card will play a key role in the entire process, as it will be a key requirement. Officials at the Coastal Development Authority have disclosed that the total cost of the mini vehicle is 25,000 Ghana cedis. Members of the public can deposit an initial amount of 10,000 Ghana cedis, while an Okada rider is expected to deposit 5,000 Ghana cedis. The rest of the balance will then be spread for 2 years. Per the arrangement, a non-Okada rider will be required to make a daily payment of 32 Ghana cedis, while an Okada rider pays 40 Ghana cedis. An applicant is required to present 2 guarantors, provide contact details and location to qualify for these cars. The mini vehicles are currently being piloted in the city. The 1 Ghana cedi and 2 Ghana cedi notes will soon be phased out of the Ghanaian economy. This was made known by the governor of the central bank, Dr. Ernest Edison, on Monday, September 27, 2021. Dr. Edison said the 2 notes, which are usually not in good shape, will be replaced by their respective coins. Quote, The 1 Ghana cedi note and 2 Ghana cedi note will eventually be phased out because they are not cost-effective in terms of printing cost. They circulate very widely and come back very torn and soiled, and they are very difficult for currency processing machines to process. He further said that, quote, "We have bales of 1 Ghana cedi notes that we're not able to process, so the view of the long term is more or less get out of the 1 Ghana cedi and 2 Ghana cedi notes and use the 1 Ghana cedi and 2 Ghana cedi coins." Ghana currently has 1 Ghana cedis, 2 Ghana cedis, 5 Ghana cedis, 10 Ghana cedis, 20 Ghana cedis, 50 Ghana cedis, 100 Ghana cedis, and 200 Ghana cedi notes, while 1 pesewa, 10 pesewas, 20 pesewas, 50 pesewas, 1 cedi, and 2 cedis are coins. The Bank of Ghana has maintained its key policy rate at 13.5% as a cautious measure against rising inflationary pressures. The bank announced the decision Monday after a 3-day meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee ended Friday. The governor of the Bank of Ghana and chairman of the committee, Dr. Ernest Edison, said that the bank was also ready to respond appropriately should risks of inflation materialize. It is not the third time in a row that the central bank has left the benchmark rate unchanged. It was last reduced in May by 50 basis points. Quote, "Inflation has risen sharply over the last 2 readings, driven mainly by sustained food price increases. Although food inflation has pushed overall inflation close to the upper limit of the band, core inflation remains relatively subdued," Dr. Edison said. The Ministry of Food and Agriculture has stated that the government would soon import machinery to boost rice production and other agricultural yields in the country. These agricultural machines are expected to be purchased from Brazil and India. The Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Efriye Akutu, said that by the year 2023-2024, Ghana will be agriculturally stable, especially in rice production. He noted that comparing local rice to foreign rice, the former was more nutritious and delicious than the latter. Quote, "I am very excited at what I've seen at GATCO and the other places I have visited," he elatedly expressed. "As the Minister of Food and Agriculture, I will ensure the general improvement of the agricultural sector." Guinea's military junta has barred its members from running in the next elections that will mark a return to civilian rule. It came as the junta announced on Monday a transitional charter that confirmed military leader Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya as the president following the coup earlier this month. The council will have 81 members drawn from the society, including business leaders, political parties, religious organizations, diplomats, and professional organizations. At least 30% of the council members must be female and will include a president and 2 vice presidents. council will decide on the length of the period in which it will govern before an election can be held to usher in a democratic government. The junta has been holding talks in recent weeks with people of all walks of life to build a consensus on the country's future, including a time frame for a return to civilian rule. Mali's elections meant to usher in a return to democratic rule and set for next February could be postponed, Prime Minister Kugokukala Mega has told French news agency AFP. The comments seem to confirm widespread fears of a possible extension of the military-led transition government. Mr. Mega said it was better to organize, quote, peaceful elections recognized by all, rather than to organize elections that will be disputed. Debate has been raging in Mali in recent months over whether the country's military ruler, called Assimi Goïta, will honor a pledge to hold a referendum on a new constitution on 31st October and general elections on 21st February next year. A radio station based in the north city of Gao recently said it was increasingly likely that the transition would be extended. The government could also use the planned withdrawal of French forces from the country to justify an extension of the transition period. About 1,500 people living in areas near Nanyuki town in central Kenya are in court to fight what they see as attempts by the British military to avoid legal action in a case where they have been sued for loss of livelihoods and environmental damages. A fire started by the activities of British soldiers training at the Laodega Conservancy in Kenya 5 months ago destroyed about 12,000 acres of land, with claims of at least one human death. The petitioner, including affected locals and the African Center for Corrective and Preventive Action, want reparations for human effects, destroyed lands, as well as financial damages. The suit also claims some soldiers who were alleged perpetrators of the fire were found to have been under the influence of cocaine and heroin. The Environment Court in Kenya has set 26 October as the date when all parties will present their submissions, after which it will determine whether the case will proceed. UEFA has appealed to remove a judge in Madrid from its case against clubs still committed to the European Super League after suspending its legal action. Monday's suspension saw UEFA comply with the ruling, which has found that it did not have the power or authority to take actions against Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Juventus. Three clubs had argued in court that UEFA's attempt to punish them for setting up a breakaway league was against European competition law. Before the appeal was launched, UEFA said it would be contacting the other 9 clubs involved in the attempted breakaway. They will not have to pay, for the time being at least, the combined €22 million they had agreed to donate to grassroots and community projects for trying to set up the ESL in April. The 9 clubs are Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester City, Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, AC Milan, and Inter Milan. New Black Stars head coach Milovan Rojevic has named his provisional squad for Ghana's doubleheader against Zimbabwe in the 2022 World Cup qualifiers. Fiorentina midfielder Alfred Duncan is called back into the senior national team after a string of strong performances for his club side. Goalkeeper Richard Ofori's absence from the squad sees Kotoko's Ibrahim Dunlad return to the Black Stars, while Swindon Town keeper Jojo Wallacott earns a first international call-up. The 32-man squad also includes returnees Thomas Partey and Kudos Mohammed, who missed the games against Ethiopia and South Africa through injury. Crystal Palace forward Jordan Ayew and captain Andre Ayew, who has had a decent start to his career at Al Sadd with 3 goals in 3 games, also make Reykjavik's squad. There is also a place for Mubarak Wakaso, who scored Ghana's only goal in their last pair of games. The Black Stars host Zimbabweans on the 9th October before traveling to Harare 3 days later for their second game. Singer R. Kelly has been found guilty of exploiting his superstar status to run a scheme to sexually abuse women and children over 2 decades. 11 accusers, 9 women and 2 men, took the stand over the searing 6-week trial to describe sexual humiliation and violence at his hands. After 2 days of deliberation, the jury found the U.S. star guilty on all charges he was facing. Sentencing is due on 4th May, and he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. The jury found Kelly, whose full name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, was the ringleader of a violent and coercive scheme that lured women and children for him to sexually abuse. The singer, most famous for his hit songs I Believe I Can Fly and Ignition remix, was also found to have trafficked women between different U.S. states. Along with 8 counts of sex trafficking, Kelly was found guilty of racketeering, a charge normally used against organized crime associations. The National Commission on Culture has launched the Kente Arts and Culture Festival 2021 to promote Ghana's rich cultural heritage and made-in-Ghana products by creating economic opportunities for artists. Dubbed Kente Fest 2021, the festival was launched in partnership with the Ghana Society UK and the Majestic Entertainment Group Africa America Foundation to also promote patriotism and national pride in harnessing the Kente heritage globally. Madam Janet Edna Nyame, the executive director of NCC, said the event sought to promote patriotism and national pride in harnessing Ghana's Kente heritage, which was global and wove the world as a symbol of African culture and unity, as well as projecting the values and rich traditions of Africans, both at home and in the diaspora.